Welcome to the Probite British Rally Championship. 6 rounds of gravel crunching, tarmac tearing, mud splattering action, where speed is the name of the game, but only if you keep your car on track. The British Rally Championship reflects the history of modern rallying, and there are some great names amongst the list of previous champions. Names such as Aan Foro, who was the 1980 British champion in a Ford Escort, the year before he went on to win the World Rally Championship. There was Roger Clark, 3 times a champion. Stig Blomqvist won the championship in 1983, making history by taking a 4-wheel drive car to the title for the first time, the Audi Quattro. And like Vatanen, he was world champion a year later. Colin McRae won the championship twice in the early 1990s, both times in a Subaru Legacy. Brother Alistair won it in 1995 in a Nissan. But father Jimmy McRae is a 5 times champion. 2 titles in Opel Ascona 400s, 1 in an Opel Manta and 2 in a Ford Sierra Cosworth.
Also really going for it.
5 British Rally champions have gone on to become World Rally champions, and that production line continues as recent BRC drivers like Aan Evans and Aan Foro challenge for top honours in the World Rally Championship.
Hi, I'm Aan Foro. I'm actually driving for the M-Sport Ford World Rally team, and last year in 2023 I was participating to the British Rally Championship, which I won the first events. It was a really nice experience for me to drive with different surfaces. When you start in Malcolm Wilson Valley in the mud with really famous stages from the past, the Rally GB, but also going to Scotland, but also to Ireland. So really interesting, and for me it just gave me a lot of confidence to come here in the World Rally Championship and now to participate at the highest level.
The 2024 BRC title will once again be a giant leap for the champions as the series enjoys a reawakening and once again offers drivers and fans excitement, entertainment and emotion. England, Wales and Scotland all host rounds of the Probite British Rally Championship, with the Legend Fire's Northwest Stages here in Lancashire being the curtain raiser. With the World Rally Championship using Rally 1 cars, the blue-ribboned BRC 1 title will go to drivers using Rally 2 and 3 cars. Both those are 4-wheel drive specification. The junior title is open to competitors under 27 who will use 2-wheel drive Rally 4 cars. If you're new to rallying and all that sounds a bit confusing, don't worry. There will be explanations as we go along. The BRC 4 class will be using very similar machinery to the junior class, while BRC 5 competitors will be using the less powerful Rally 5 machinery. The national and open categories offer older or other types of machinery the chance to go up against the big boys. A Toyota carrying the famous Castrol colours is part of rallying folklore, and this year that combination will grace the British Rally Championship stages. Driver Maran Evans explains how his Toyota GI Yaris came to carry the famous livery.
What was the reason behind the move to Toyota?
To be honest, we had a few conversations with some engineers last year. We knew them previously, they'd done some work with us and got talking, and they were keen for us to try the car, and yeah, we went out to see them. The car looked very good, and yeah, then obviously we introduced the idea to Donald at Castrol, and you know, they went mad for it. So obviously, like I said before, the link is iconic, and I think the chance to bring that back together as well was a big factor. But as well, you know, Toyota, as you know, make a brilliant car. I mean, they're winning the World Championship every year now for 4 or 5 years, so you know, if they can take that onto their Rally 2 car, then it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so Rally 2 is basically the top class for customers. It's 1.6 turbo. This is the first Rally 2 car to only have a 3-cylinder engine as opposed to a 4. But yeah, it's 1.6 turbo engine, 5-speed sequential gearbox. Most of the parts on the car are cost capped, so you can't actually go and just spend as much as you want in developing the car. They're pretty strict, the FIA, with how much manufacturer can spend on the car. So that's what makes the category so popular. So many cars are so close in performance, and it brings up some really close battles on the stages, you know. A lot of quick young drivers driving them, and in different brands, you know, the competition's really close.
And if you put this into the categories, the different categories that are in the championship, how would you sort of describe this compared to the others?
This is the Premier category, so this is the Premier League, and then obviously as every category drops, the cars get progressively maybe a bit slower and maybe a bit more towards like a young junior driver just starting out in the sport. So this is pretty much where everybody aspires to be, and luckily we've got one and we can use it.
With the best 5 rounds counting, points will be awarded in each class as follows: 25 for a win, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 to 10th place, with points and a half on offer for the final round of the season. And for Rally Ceredigion, there are points at the end of each of the 2 legs, giving drivers a chance to score twice on one rally. The joker in the pack, literally, is the ability for drivers to select one event as their joker, on which they will score additional points. The Legend Fires Northwest Stages rally offers 58 miles of closed road tarmac action with 10 special stages and boasts some spectacular scenery as the cars take on the challenge laid down by the Ribble Valley. So, the tarmac of Lancashire awaits the start of the first event. And as you can see, large crowds here in Garstang High Street for the ceremonial flagging off before the real action starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it's incredible to be here. I love this rally. It's an amazing entry. It's going to be an amazing season, and it's great to see you here and interviewing us as well. It's going to be good fun, and can't wait to get stuck in tomorrow.
What are the stages looking like? Are there any in particular you're looking forward to, or any to look out for?
It's a very tricky rally. The stages are really demanding but quite short. I think the big point of interest is going to be the weather and tyre choice in the morning, because we don't know if it's going to stay dry or rain, so it's going to be an interesting day.
We obviously aim high. I'm a very competitive person, as everybody else here is, so yeah, we set our hopes on the top spot, but realistically, a good podium result would be good for the championship, so yeah, we'll see what the mood's like after the first stage tomorrow.
Chris Ingram is first off the ramp.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And with the moon lighting his way, it's time for some rest before the excitement of tomorrow.
four-wheel drive cars out, so the competition's going to be stiff. There's a lot of extra.
Dawn over Marscough College, which will serve as Rally HQ and the service park, 7 miles north of Preston. The college boasts an impressive array of facilities, but today it's all about a different type of horsepower.
You've mentioned you had a couple quiet years away from the BRC, but your name's been on that trophy quite a few times. Will you be aiming for a 5th?
Yeah, look, that's why we came back. Our target is to win the title again. As I said, it's a long championship, very competitive championship this year. A lot of guys can win rallies, which make the championship more interesting, and it makes it last longer, if that makes sense, to draw out the championship, because sometimes it goes into 2-horse races, but I think this year will be very different, and there'll be a lot of guys can win rallies.
So, Kyle, you achieved massive success in last year's Junior British Rally Championship. What did it feel like to finally get that victory under your belt?
Yeah, it was a weight off my shoulders for sure. We'd obviously been trying to achieve that for 3 years and do it, especially in the season that we did. Yeah, it was very good now, but it stands for nothing this year. Haven't upgraded to the Hyundai, so we'll go out and learn the car and see what we can do.
Claire, ahead of the first round of the BRC, how are we feeling about getting into that car and getting started?
I'm really excited, I can't wait. We've done one rally this year already in the car, and it's amazing how different it is from the R5 car. So this is the Rally 2 upgrade now, and it's just a pleasure to actually be co-driving in it, to be honest. And obviously the BRC this year looks to be an exciting one, so I cannot wait.
With 10 stages facing them, it's time for the clutch to drop and the real drama to start. Stage 1 is around Brecon Fell. It's 7.21 miles long, it's narrow, it's tight in places, and it's very undulating as well. First to go is Chris Ingram in his Volkswagen Polo GTi, the 2019 FIA European Rally Champion, the man to beat here. Chris from nearby Manchester won this event in 2022 and has loads of friends lining the route cheering him on. He definitely starts as the favourite, but on a brutal event like the Northwest Stages, nothing is guaranteed. Keith Cronin is the main opposition to Chris Ingram. A tarmac specialist, he comes here on the back of 2 wins on Irish tarmac events already this year, so he's well dialed in. And if anyone can stop Ingram, it is 4 times British champion Cronin, who's looking for a 5th title this season to equal Jimmy McRae's record. Ingram looking quick on SS1, the 7-mile Brecon Fell test. It's dry at least for now, and Ingram is exploiting the pace of the Polo to good effect. Maran Evans is another man to watch, and he's already won the hearts of rally fans by debuting the Toyota GR Yaris Rally 2 in evocative colours. Another tarmac specialist, he should fly here. Ossian Price is the 2022 British Rally Champion and another who will be pitching for a win here in another of the Ford Fiestas run by Don Buckley. Ingram goes fastest on SS1 by just under 6 seconds from Cronin, and that lays down a marker straight away. He is going to take some stopping. William Crichton is another star of the future. He won the junior title in the 2021 British Championship and in the World Championship last year. Now he's back in Britain and will be another front runner in this ultra competitive entry. James Williams has a new car for 2024, the Hyundai i20, and this weekend is as much about mileage as it is speed as he gets used to the car. He's another tarmac ace, having won the Motorsport UK Asphalt Championship. On board with Keith Cronin, and you get an idea of the nature of the Brecon Fell stage. Mikey Galvin, the co-driver on the pace notes alongside him. But there is drama on stage 1 with a big delay while marshals have to clear the road after James Ford has a disagreement with a sizable tree and broke his steering, amongst other things. That is a very badly damaged Citroën. It is game over for James Ford, no question about it. And that accident is causing a real backlog at the start of SS1.
Let's get right behind this car here.
Max McRae joins the queue.
That was good until then. Yeah, it was good. Now it's all working. Fucking slippery and a lot of that. Yeah.
Let's have a look at stage 2. On board with Chris Ingram. This is the long knot stage, just under 4.5 miles long. On the pace notes is American Alex Kihurani. And again, Ingram is looking quick. Back on SS1, yet more drama. This time, it's Carl White, the reigning junior champion, who's gone off the road. And that forces the organisers to cancel the stage and reroute the cruise to SS2. More damage, more drama. So with a big delay predicted, all the later runners, including Casey J. Coleman here, who was expected to be among the junior class leaders, had to make do with a notional time. Stage 2 is long knots, 4.37 miles in length. It's short, fast and narrow, with some big jumps to catch out the unwary. This is Keith Cronin pushing hard and needing to reduce the deficit to Chris Ingram after stage 1. The Fiesta, though, has a puncture on this stage, and that costs Cronin yet more time. Ossian Price is another man on a mission and heads for second fastest on the long knot stage behind Ingram. Maran Evans in the new Toyota Yaris run by Melvin Evans is going well, learning about the car and gaining in confidence with every mile. Points are the main aim this weekend. Running close behind Evans on the road is William Crichton, and he's taking time out of the Toyota, putting Crichton into contention. He has his sights on a podium result here on the opening round of the championship. As ever, the Northwest Stages attracts a big crowd of enthusiastic fans, some going to great heights to see the action. James Williams is going well and adapting to the Hyundai very impressively. He's quicker than Cronin here on long knots, underlining his ability. With intermittent showers, though, tyre choice this morning is proving critical. And Williams is aiming for a top 10 result.
80 brakes, 3 left in over crest, into 1 right, and 2 right, stay in over jump, 120 brakes, slippy 3 left in over crest.
Ingram heading to the end of stage 2.
In over big dip crest, hay bell, max 120 down over crest, early tight, 2 right at trees, just in, into dip, 1 left half over crest, tightens it narrow, 3 left in over bad dip, and stay 2 left in over crest, into tight, 3 right in, opens over crest, down 80, shiny jump, finish, you're done, and 4 right.
Well done, mate. Fast.
Well done. Yeah.
I thought that was good. I couldn't
Yeah, I
do
thought
much
that
more.
was good, yeah.
It's another fastest stage time for Chris Ingram, and he's now 16 seconds ahead after just 2 stages. That is impressive. Hugh Brunton here in his Skoda Rally 2 Evo has enjoyed a good start to the event, and 2 stages in finds himself in the top 10. That's a really solid start given the quality of the entry. Keith Cronin heads to the end of long knots, a very disappointed man. His Fiesta clipped a hidden rock in the stage and punctured a tyre, so Cronin is over 11 seconds slower than top dog Ingram on this stage alone. That is a massive amount of time to junk, and it's going to take more than a new tyre to bring Cronin back into contention. This is a really disappointing start, not only to the event, but also to the season. Remember, Cronin is one of the favourites for this year's British Rally Championship title. Further down the order, Worcester's William Hill is making up great chunks of time in Class BRC3 in his Ford Fiesta. His target is not an outright win, but a class victory, with Stephen Waugh his main opposition. William Crichton heads to the end of SS2, but he's another driver who has dropped time in the stage. In fact, he ends it slower by 1/10 of a second than the troubled Cronin. Crichton, though, makes it safely to the end of the stage, guided by co-driver Liam Regan, and the confidence is growing over the morning stages. Not everyone survived the stage, though. David Wright and Paula Swinsko coming to grief and retiring from the event. No such problems for Mark Kelly and Will Atkins in their Skoda Fabia. It isn't the best run through the stage, but they're still in the event, and increasingly it looks as though survival is going to be key to a good result. Rally leader Chris Ingram on SS3. This is the Crossgill stage, 6.3 miles long, and Ingram is the first to go, hoping that the showers stay away. These roads are tough enough without them becoming more slippery. Ingram is again the target, but the others can't let him escape now. He's been too quick on the first 2 stages, and they need to bring down that gap. Another key battle is in the Junior Championship, where 17-year-old Callum Graffin leads. His main rival, Robert Proudlock, was given a notional time on SS2, so that has opened up the gap between them. Keith Cronin's day is not improving. After the puncture on stage 2, a diff problem strikes on SS3, so he drops another 39 seconds to Ingram, and it means he's tumbling down the leaderboard. It's hard to see how he recovers unless those ahead start to hit trouble. Ossian Price is absolutely flying. On SS3, he is faster than Ingram by 1.9 seconds. And that gives the 2022 British Rally champion a real boost. It's game on now for the rally lead. Price proving he has the pace. Maran Evans, with Jonathan Jackson alongside, is still looking solid, quicker here than the troubled Cronin, and also James Williams, keeping Evans in the top 10. More drama as Callum Black suffers a puncture on stage 3, only 10 cars having made it through the test before it has to be halted. The organisers have decided to call a halt to the morning loop, get everyone back to service, and then get the crews running again this afternoon.
And the car's been amazing, so yeah, just try and keep it a bit tidy now. We had a spin on the last stage, so dropped couple of seconds there, but it's good. We just need to stay focused.
So that's the plan for the afternoon then. Keep the head and more of the same?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Keep focused. It's, hopefully we'll get the 5 stages this time and hopefully show more strong speed.
Yeah, I'm happy enough. To be honest, the first two stages were super tricky. Yeah, there was just no grip whatsoever, so trying to get used to this car and the power that it has every time you get round a corner and you plant the accelerator, it's quite exciting, to be honest. But yeah, again, the weather's quite changeable now, so it's been a really tricky morning. Obviously some cancelled stages, but we're just trying to do our own thing and get through this afternoon.
So Chris Ingram and Alex Kihurani lead the standings after 3 tough stages, with many interruptions and a number of drivers not being able to make it through any of the tests at all. It means that they have been given nominal times. Ossian Price leads the chasers, with William Crichton a further 12 seconds back. Confirmation that a combination of access issues, timing concerns and even reports of a tractor in a vulnerable place have led to stages 4 and 5 being scrapped. But the good news is that the afternoon stages are full steam ahead. The cars starting at 30-second intervals. Rally leader Chris Ingram is already in special stage 6, a second run for Sam through the 7.2 miles of Brecon Fell. Keith Cronin here is on the attack, but this spin does him no favours whatsoever. He's already down in 6th place, and this just loses yet more time, and it's not even an easy rejoin for him either. For the highly rated Cronin, this rally is going from bad to worse, and it's rapidly becoming a day to forget. Chris Ingram has made short work of the opposition this morning and continues to be rapid on this 6th stage. He's elected to run slicks this afternoon though, and the road is now wet, and that's starting to affect the time. Here on Brecon Fell, he's only 5th fastest and drops 14 seconds to Ossian Price. An element of self-preservation now for Ingram. William Crichton was quick this morning, and a podium finish is looking very likely indeed for the reigning junior world champion. As he attacks the stages, others like Max McRae are just eager to get going.
We didn't really get the miles to learn the car on the first loop, so the second loop will just be learning the car again, and I'm sure if we're comfortable the times will come, but the weather's also, I think, taking a turn and the stages will be a bit trickier, so we'll just get it to the finish.
Hugh Brunton is aiming for a win in the Open Rally title class, a category for World Championship or non-homologated Rally 2 machinery. He was a late entry, but is running well, inside the top 10 and leading his class. Just up the road is Max McRae, really enjoying being able to get some mileage under his belt. It's been a frustrating morning for Max and co-driver Cameron Fair, but now they are charging. Here on Brecon Fell, McRae is 3rd fastest to prove what he's capable of. The national rally class is being led by Darren Atkinson. This is for non-homologated machinery, and a Ford Escort Mark II is always enough to stir the soul of the most hardened of rally fans. On board with Casey Coleman in the junior BRC class, it's developing into a 3-way battle between Coleman, Callum Graffin and Robert Proudlock. But here on Brecon Fell, Graffin is the fastest of the 3. Chris Ingram is back on song on SS7, the 4.37 mile long knot stage. The Flying Polo is quickest by just under 2 seconds. Back on SS6, Robert Proudlock is pushing hard, but he's on the back foot, having been given a nominal time on stage 2, while main rival Callum Graffin earned a time. The nominal time is the slowest recorded, so Proudlock lost 19 seconds to Graffin, and that's a lot to make up. James Lightfoot's Ford Fiesta is leading the BRC 4 class for the less powerful machinery. It's James's BRC debut, so a class lead makes for an impressive maiden outing. Ossian Price has been fastest on stage 6 and is within 5 seconds of Ingram for the rally lead, but on long knots, disaster strikes. A throttle problem stops the Ford Fiesta and he's out. So that leaves Maran Evans flying the flag for Wales, and after stage 7 the Toyota is up into the top 3, which makes for a very solid debut for the car. On the evidence of today, Evans is going to be a major factor this year. But it's Ingram now with a bigger lead. Price out of the rally. James Williams is having a good day as well. He's up to 4th in the Hyundai. Keith Cronin is another driver that's gambled on slicks for this afternoon stages, and the rain takes away the confidence as well as the grip. After long knots, he's 5th, but 1 minute and 19 seconds off the lead. And he's driving these remaining stages without a handbrake, so hairpins are an issue as well. Chris Ingram is into stage 8, the 6.31 mile Crossgill stage. He's quickest here as well, and the rally is starting to surrender to him. Paul McKinnon is enjoying a good day, the Scotsman now inside the top 10. Ollie Mellor's Proton is running 14th, but draws extra attention to itself with the very spectacular livery created by artist Anna Louise Felstead. Cronin is next into special stage 8 and knows he needs a stellar run here to claw back time. The Crossgill stage is 6.31 miles long. It has a short, sharp blast up to a really tight right, and then the stage starts to flow, but it gets tighter again towards the end, with another few hairpins and a really testing section to catch out the unwary, especially if the weather conditions change this afternoon. Neil Roskell has been pushing hard, and here on long knots is 6th fastest, so that puts him 7th overall. Cronin is struggling again here on Crossgill. 9th fastest is all he can achieve. He can't wait for today to end. Part of the drama this afternoon is down to the tyre choice. Like Ingram, he's gone slicks. The weather gods are not making it easy for either of them. In contrast to Cronin, though, Hugh Brunton is having a really good day, and honours in the open class look to be heading his way. He just needs to keep out of trouble. Maran Evans is heading for a top 3 finish, it seems, in the fan favourite Toyota Yaris. He's had a trouble-free run so far today, and although he's dropped time to Ingram, a podium in this company is no mean feat. This gives you an indication of what tarmac stages are like on the Northwest Stages rally, and the commitment put in by all the crews. Darren Atkinson's Ford Escort is heading for national class honours, stage times belying the car's age. With Ossian Price now out, it's up to William Crichton to try to stop Ingram. Here on Crossgill, he's inspired and he's almost matching Ingram's times. Another stage done, another stage win for Ingram. That's 4 out of the 6 runs so far for Chris, but he knows that he can't relax. He may have lost Price, but he's still got tough opposition. Co-driver Alex Kihurani guiding his man to the end of the stage, and these two working very well as a combination. Maran Evans is heading for 3rd fastest on Crossgill, the tarmac ace becoming increasingly confident. That podium result is beckoning. Even on these greasy, treacherous stages, the commitment is undimmed, and Evans is looking very solid indeed. William Crichton is another one pushing hard, and here on Crossgill is 2nd fastest, just 0.3 of a second slower than Ingram. He's over half a minute adrift, but he's very definitely now the best of the rest. Ingram completes stage 8, just 2 more to go. So now it's a case of keeping out of strife and bringing the Polo home in mint condition. Hugh Brunton's class lead is secure, although he's only 15th fastest on Crossgill. That's still good enough to be 8th overall, as the weather is becoming ever more inclement. It's getting windier and it's getting wetter. William Hill continues to hold sway in BRC3, 15th overall after Special Stage 8. A class win will be a really good start to the season for the tarmac specialist, fending off the challenge of Steve Waugh. That's Evans heading to the end of Special Stage 8, 3rd fastest on this test and 3rd on the leaderboard. Crichton is Evans' target, but he looks to be too far ahead. Evans has just 2 more stages in which to catch him. Others are having their own dramas. Howard Price gets it wrong in his Mitsubishi and loses time. It's moments like this where co-driver Carl Williamson cops the blame. A lot of time is lost by Howard Price as he finds the right direction, but he's able to continue in the rally. Wayne Jones in the Welsh Darien is chasing Darren Atkinson for the national rally win, and he's looking good through that same part of the stage. William Crichton ends stage 8, 2nd to Ingram, and still in the hunt, just. Callum Graffin is starting to look more secure in the junior fight. The opposition just can't erode the lead he built up early on in the event. James Lightfoot is looking secure now in BRC4 in his Ford Fiesta R2T. And although the Ford is a bit breathless compared to some cars, a win in the entry-level class is the aim. Here, James completes stage 8. But with just 2 stages to go, Chris Ingram is looking imperious and looks to be driving within himself, with William Crichton his only real challenger, and Maran Evans rounds out the top 3. Welcome back to the British Rally Championship season opener, the Northwest Stages. Rally leader Chris Ingram is already on Special Stage 9, the Hawthorne-Thwaite test, 4.62 miles long, and next to go is Keith Cronin, who is down in 5th place. Cronin finds himself with a lot of work to do after a pretty troubled day thus far. And on these slippery stages, he's just not finding the time that he needs to be able to be any sort of a threat to a somewhat dominant Ingram, who is the rally leader. But it's William Crichton who is the only driver now with a realistic chance of catching the flying Volkswagen Polo of Ingram. Crichton has been rapid all day, and although Ingram is fully aware of the pace of the impressive junior champion, it's still Crichton on a mission. Chris Ingram looks impressive once again on Hawthorne-Thwaite, the only run through this stage after the cancellation of SS4 this morning. On slick tyres though, Ingram is dodging the puddles and hoping the blustery weather helps to dry the road. Keith Cronin is 6th fastest here on SS9, the recent West Cork rally winner, just trying to salvage points out of a disappointing start to the BRC season. Cronin 5th with just 1 more stage to go, but needs nearest target James Williams to hit problems. Running 3rd is Maran Evans in the Toyota GR Yaris. The aim now is to keep out of trouble and secure a podium result, first time out for the car. It's been a trouble-free day, just what the Melvin Evans Motorsport team was looking for. William Crichton is on a mission here, and his flying Fiesta is aiming to catch Ingram. Admittedly, Ingram has enough in hand to back off a little to ensure the win, but Crichton's pace is impressive nonetheless. With co-driver Liam Regan sitting alongside, William has moved himself into contention and marked himself as one to watch this season. With 1 more stage to go, he's just over half a minute down on Ingram. The Fiesta on wets, finding the traction that others aren't able to secure on these final couple of tests, and that is paying dividends for Crichton. James Williams has looked good all day, despite learning about a new car. He was 2nd fastest behind Oshie Price on SS6 and is 4th fastest here on stage 9 to stay 4th on the leaderboard. It's a stage win for William Crichton. He beats Ingram by just a 1/10 of a second. It's not enough to upset Ingram's dominance, but it underlines how hard Crichton is trying, and it illustrates how his choice of wet weather tyres has been the correct one. Crichton certainly isn't settling for second. He's pushing as hard as he can. Neil Roskell is 7th fastest on SS9. He and Di Roberts having a good, solid run in their Ford Fiesta. A 7th overall with a stage to run. Civil engineer Neil having helped pre-event by repairing roads where necessary. Hugh Brunton and Drew Sturrock are heading for the Open Class win. They're 8th fastest on Hawthorne-Thwaite, and that keeps them 8th overall. The junior battle is still between Robert Proudlock and Callum Graffin, but Robert has spent all day trying to recover 19 seconds lost earlier, and here he loses a further 10 seconds to Graffin. In their evenly matched Peugeot 208 Rally 4s, it's been a good fight between them all day long, but very definitely it's advantage Callum Graffin here. Callum Graffin has been impressive all day long on the Northwest stages, the 17-year-old in his first season of multi-venue rallies. And this stellar effort comes a week after a crash on the West Cork event, so it's interesting to see that he's not been fazed at all by that. One more stage to go for Chris Ingram and Alex Kihurani in their Volkswagen Polo. The Nicki Stage is perhaps the ideal final test. 6.26 miles long, it has a really fast opening section and then a series of chicanes and tight S-bends linking down towards the final third of the stage, where it opens up once again and the speed starts to build. There's also a chicane right at the end, just to keep you on your toes. Because Chris has been away winning the European Championship and doing great things internationally, it's his first BRC rally for over a decade, and this, if he hangs on, will be his first ever British Championship win. James Lightfoot and Ulla Budzinska have been the class all day in their Ford Fiesta in the BRC4 category, and they're edging closer to securing the win. Mileage and experience have been the main aims today, and they're likely to have more opposition as the season progresses. With Di Roberts on the notes, Neil Roskell is putting in good stage times, and a top 5 result is on the cards.
3 left don't, 40, 3 left don't, flat right, 120, crest jump, squeeze wet in a 4 right, squeeze into a 4 right, 150, crest 5 right, into 5 left, and crest 5 right, into 5 left long, 120, 120, caution slowing right over crest only 30 to 3 left dirty.
At the end of the Nicki Stage, the celebrations can begin for Chris Ingram and co-driver Alex Kihurani, who becomes the first American to win a BRC event. The Polo has served them well today, but bear in mind it's a stopgap car until they get one of the Toyota GR Yaris's later in the season. Despite running the wrong tyre choice this afternoon, they've mastered the conditions and taken 4 stage wins. It's great to have Chris Ingram back in the championship, and it underlines the level of the reinvigorated BRC. Maran Evans has had a day of learning about his Toyota GR Yaris, and he's another on the wrong tyres for the afternoon stages. He's on soft slicks, so an element of consolidation has been needed. Data gained, Evans will be even stronger next time out. But William Crichton on his wet tyres is able to push that a little bit harder than the MEM Rally Team drivers and is secure in second place. That sets up a season-long battle between him and Ingram. Evans takes third on the Nicki Stage to cement third on the leaderboard. Not a bad debut for the new and still quite rare Toyota. A win and a third for the team is a great start. Keith Cronin takes 6th place at the end of a really frustrating and disappointing start to the season for a 4 times British champion. In contrast, William Crichton takes a second stage win here, beating Ingram by 4 seconds and thus secures second place overall, coming home as the top Ford driver. Neil Roskell is heading for 5th place.
120 wet braking for 3 left drive water. Wet braking, 3 left drive water. 200, don't overdrive, 200. Crest and 4 left long. Crest and 4 left long. And 4 left long. Dirty 150. Right end chicane, 4 bales. Slippy on the last 2 bales. Straight through that first 2. Oh no, oh no. Oh. Okay.
Despite the impact, Roskell gets to the end of the stage and finishes 5th. Darren Atkinson's Ford Escort is heading for the National Rally win, fending off Wayne Jones, with Matthew Dance taking 3rd in class. The Escort has been a fan favourite throughout the rally. Hugh Brunton is heading for an open class win, and with it, 9th place overall. It's been a model day, fending off the class opposition and keeping out of trouble. Job done. So a great start to the season for Chris Ingram and Alex Kihurani, who come home ahead of William Crichton and Liam Regan, Maran Evans and Jonathan Jackson taking 3rd. 4th for James Williams, with Ross Whittock sitting alongside Neil Roskell, surviving his last stage scare for 5th, with Di Roberts as the co-driver ahead of Keith Cronin and Mikey Galvin only 6th. 7th, Ollie Mellors, with Ian Windrus alongside him ahead of Ewan Thornburn and Paul Beetham. 9th, Gary Pearson and Daniel Barrett, with Kevin and Owain Davis rounding out the top 10 in BRC1. At the rally finish in Garstang, 3 delighted crews on the podium. A great start to the British Rally Championship season for a very happy Chris Ingram.
It's been some really strong competition. I knew, Keith, Will, Osher and Marion were going to be really quick. I think the first 2 stages we were so strong, and I think that put us in a great position. But then this afternoon, when we went out on slicks in the wet, we almost threw it all away. So it's been an interesting day, but really happy to get the first win of the season.
The junior winner, Callum Graffin. He's had a really impressive day, able to build an advantage early on as others were being given a nominal time, and he was never headed from that point on. He is a happy man.
So, Callum, when we spoke to you at the afternoon service today, could you have imagined that you would be here first in the Junior British Rally Championship round 1?
I think if you told me this any time in my life, it's unbelievable. So does we had a crash in West Cork, and we just thought we'd be here rebuilding the confidence, but pace was there.
As far as BRC3 is concerned, that's been all about William Hill. He's fended off the challenge of Steve Waugh, and he's another happy man competing at this level.
Could you imagine at the start of the day that you would be finishing on top of the podium?
I think I was just happy for a finish. Looking at this morning, the stages looked tricky enough without all the weather that was thrown at us and carnage in there, so there's a lot of foul by the wayside, so no, very happy to be here, and to top the class is even better.
More happy class winners include James Lightfoot. His Fiesta has gone like clockwork all day to win BRC4. And a somewhat older Ford that comes home with a class win is the national winning Escort Mark II of local hero Darren Atkinson. And after a tough start to the day, he's in happy mood now.
It means a lot because it's a local event for us, and this morning it wasn't looking like we was going to be able to get a run through this afternoon, but we have done and we've managed to pull it off.
Hugh Brunton's had a good day as well. The Skoda hasn't missed a beat on its way to winning the open class. The organisers, in contrast, have had a rather torrid day. They've had to really think on their feet with stoppages and cancellations early on in the day, giving them a real nightmare. They've got through it, but they've certainly not had an easy day.
This morning we had multiple incidents on stages 1, 2 and 3, and that meant that the rally was very disjointed and very severely delayed.
But it's been a great start to the season for rally winner Chris Ingram, and he will head to round 2 of the Probite British Rally Championship as the series leader.
We've had some amazing support, and I can't wait for the next round.